Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm here with Citizen Sleeper 2. I played the original Citizen Sleeper. God, how long ago was it now? I got it before I got my Steam Deck, after it had already come out, before the last DLC came out. And it was such a gripping story. It really made you feel so helpless at the beginning and struggling to have a livable income, struggling to survive, basically. I guess that's really what the entire first game was about. Struggling to survive and struggling to make community with people who are pretty much kind of in a community where a lot of people stick to themselves. You find community with others in similar hardship as you. And that was just such it was a very unique experience that I think stuck with me for quite a while. Normally, when a game has more content come out after I've had my time with it, I don't usually go back and touch it, unless I have like a reason to go back with friends or something. But I finished the main campaign, finished the DLCs right after, and then had the second. I think I saw that the final set of the DLC was going to come out quite a little bit later, that the year that I was playing, and it was. I kept my eye on it. Saw it came out like maybe 6 months later, and just made time to go and play it. That was. I blocked out a chunk of time in my weeks to play that. So, God, I've been looking forward to Citizen Sleeper 2, and I saw that it came out a little while ago. I think it was last year that it came out. Last year in maybe 2024, I want to say. 20 like oh shit, no, it came out earlier this year. January, very end of January, and it's been on my list for a while. Picked it up a little bit ago, and it's just sat there because I didn't have time to play it and really get invested. But now we're here. I've finished the majority of blueprints. I'm still chipping away at that, but I'm ready for a new experience. A new narrative experience to really get lost in. And it was honestly between this and Outer Wilds, and I don't think I want another resetting story right now, at least. So let's get in here. We're in space. And that's about as much as we've got. Let's see here. We got difficulty. The difficulty didn't seem like it was doing much in the first game. I don't know if I want to ramp it up. Death is permanent. What does that mean? Guys, what does that mean? Let's stick with the normal, I think. I don't want to... Death is permanent sounds kind of crazy. Let's do this. So we have classes. The original game also had classes in a way, although the classes were never really. I never felt pigeonholed in my class choice. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's the same way here. Let's see. So skills. This is a machinist. Our focus. Crew stress to focus and action dice. +1 stress, and then +2 and focus the lowest dice. Machinist sleepers are built to repair and modify automated system used in corporate resource extraction. Machinists are very skilled engineers, but they're, oh my god. But their isolated work means they often struggle with tasks requiring a direct approach or social engagement. Their focus skill allows them to focus on a single task and boosts their dice to excel in it. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. I guess we play this kind of like me. I'll like be like me for real, you know? So these are. What's that? So machinist has focus. Operator has reboot, which is +1 stress, you reroll your lowest die, which sounds nice. Operators are built to work with drones and rote machines over local networks to perform corporate resource extraction from a distance. Operators have expertise in working with interfaces and computer systems, but are more physically fragile than other sleepers. Their reboot skill allows them to hack their own systems to reroll dice, a risky but potentially powerful move. Sleepers are assigned to operator work. They're usually cerebral and precise people. Now we have extractors. They have rally, which buffs your lowest crew dice. With crew, action. So what is... Okay. Extractor sleepers are built to work at the coal face of corporate resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Extractors have a high level of physical endurance, but their confidence means they struggle with tasks requiring intuition. Their rally skill allows them to motivate those in their team, boosting their crew dice. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Now, we don't really have a grasp on what any of these skills do. It seems like I'm locked all the way out of one skill, and one skill looks like it gets a debuff. It might cost twice as much to upgrade. Okay. Let's go with the operator. Yeah, let's go with operator. I like the reroll on low die, and I do like the ability to interface. Decent intuition. This seems nice. Yeah, let's go with operator. I think I had a similar class in the original game. It's a very text-heavy game. In the moment before waking, the dark space before conscious thought, you struggle to find the pieces of yourself. Usually, these pieces come together with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially, like the boot process of an old terminal. First, your body. Artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then is context. The breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in zero-G. Then emotion, coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it that first instinct, the one that has framed your past 100 cycles, fear. But that familiar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distant, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered. Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives, the fear. It is scrambled, panicked fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong. Something is very wrong with you. Wake up, sleeper. The voice is whispered in your ear. An act that makes you suddenly aware of your head pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. Sleeper, a familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted. One person sleeping until their debt is worked away, their double being made to work, to be consumed, and eventually to be destroyed. A proxy, an emulation, a sleeper. That is what you are. But you escaped. You remember that now. Broke free of your corporate creators, SNR, in search of a future. You cannot remember the details of your escape, but you know the fear has been with you ever since. All of a sudden, you remember you have eyes, and your eyes flicker open. Pale eyes in a pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear, one you recoil from instinctively. Sorry to interrupt. A sharp smirk. But this end is here. You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is leaning over your horizontal, floating body, looking down into your eyes. I took you in, protected you, gave you a purpose. You try to look away, to the corners of your vision, to find something you understand. Your body does not respond. But I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into the pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small vial. This wasn't enough? The vial glitters. The object you know, and have known for a long time. Stabilizer, the drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, from inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. The liquid roiling in the vial fills you with disgust. Lane pockets the vial. But it would be wasted on you now. After what you've done to this body of yours, he looks at you with a palpable disgust. Lane's eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you, those that were meant to free you from your dependence, from the stabilizer and the control it grants Lane. They are free, you piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It's a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try to understand why, you find only dizzying darkness. Shut him up. Lane barks the command, and you hear the sounds of impact, of pain, from elsewhere in the room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, the twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscle. Free, are you? Lane smirks. You were free when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you needed. He scans your body with angry eyes. Now, you aren't free. You're just broken. I had such big plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm hard, and you feel a jolt of reaction. You will the arm to move. But you have ruined all that. Lane speaks louder over the sound of the struggle behind him. I'll try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it. But your emulation? You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips a thick cable running into the pork at the base of your skull. I'll burn that out. Lane jerks forward, slamming your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling. The cables plugged into you looping and wrapping around your limbs. Then you feel hands steadying you, pulling cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. Hey, he waves a hand in your dazed face. We need to move. Lane won't be out long. He unloops a cable from around your wrist. Sleeper? Help me out here. You blink. Slowly. Do you know this person? He leans over you, and you feel his hands on the connector flicking switches, releasing locks. Come on. He tugs the connector clear and pulls you up. You see the room you're in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows looking out on an impossibly bright, screen-filled street beyond. In the corner, you see the dark shape of a floating body surrounded by a glittering constellation of crimson baubles. Is that blood? Move! You're wrestled and shoved towards the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you're out in all that brightness, all that movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. Holy shit! You come to a stop in a dark alley, the one guided you here, pausing to catch his breath. He doubles over beside a massive life support unit that sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember the station runs hot. Something about the power that flows through this place. He looks up and meets your eye. Oh my god, I've totally underestimated how much talking there was in this. Oh, I knew it was a lot. It's so much. I gotta read all this. What's going on, Sleeper? He wipes sweat from his forehead, and it floats away in a swarm of spears. Talk to me. I kind of want all of these questions answered. Let's start from the top. Who are you? You see a concerned frown across his face. Don't mess with me, sleeper. That's not funny. He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrows his eyes, waits for the answer. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of a station. No, a city, growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal solar cells, shadowed by them. You open your eyes. We're on dark side. The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. But before you heard yourself sound it out, you didn't know it was there. He sighs. And me? Who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes, panic, perhaps. You stare hard at his face, the slight upturn of his mouth, the intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes, drops his head, putting a hand to his temple. The reboot. He's speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupted the process and lifts his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off down the alley. Come on, the rig can't be far. Whoa, we're... Okay, I think I have a feeling of what's going on. I also had a feeling we weren't going to answer any of these questions. So this is not the same place as the original game. If it is, things have changed very much since then, but I don't think it's the same spot. Oh. As you're led through the passages and serviceways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture, the temperature of Darkside feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you along with the crowds. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it. Then Lane, those pale eyes offering you a glittering vial, stabilizer, the promise of supplying more for your work, a deal he locked you into like a cage. There, your memory fails you, but in the dark beyond that moment, the residue of panic, of fear remains. You were Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait. Your guide holds up a hand and you stop your glide using the wall. Ahead, you see the tunnel opens up into a wide open bay with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels. The docks. They're watching the rig. He nods towards the docks, and you see one of the doors has a couple of figures flanking it. One covered in ornate tattoos, the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Utsubo, Lane's guys. He looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this? It's not coming back to you, is it? Something catches your eye, and you see he's playing with a coin, nervously turning it over and over in his fingers. He sees you looking and slips it away. Places a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphin, alright? He looks pained when he speaks. Lane. He was our captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We needed to reboot you to break your dependence on stabilizer. Pauses. You know what that is, right? And you nod meekly. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete, and we can still make this work. I'll lead them away. You get the docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. You got that? What's the rig? I think I gotta know. Looks annoyed. A ship. Our ship. At least it soon will be. Lane assigned it to us when we were on jobs for him. Get that door open. I know you can do this. Seraphin kicks off hard and glides into the docks. Over here, shitheads! He bellows to the guards as he barrels through. They immediately push off from the wall, giving chase. Oh, fuck. During scenes, you may encounter skill checks where you can perform certain actions using your skills. Like the dice actions you will encounter later, skill checks can have positive, negative, neutral, or negative outcomes. The better the rating of your skill, the more likely you will succeed on a check. Odds of success are displayed when you select the check. Okay. Hack the door, or break the seal. Obviously, we hacked the door. That's our thing. Good enough. You switch to the... Oh shit, I must have skipped. So we hear more shouting. Your fingers hover over the keys. You switch to the administration layer and begin flooding the door operation system with spoof requests, desperately hammering the controls. The control OS crashes, and the door judders halfway open before failing. Go, go! Seraphin flies past you through the doorway and into the docking tunnel. You turn to see the two guards approaching fast across the docks and quickly glide after Seraphin. Seraphin is already at the rig's door, inputting an entry code. The rig's door scissors open, and you both rush inside. Quickly, he grabs you by the arm and drags you up to the cockpit and the ship's layout hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight seat and straps himself into his own. You see him tap a series of buttons as he does, talking to himself. Come on. The rig's drive rumbles into life, and Seraphin slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away. Okay. We're already gone. We're not staying at that place for too long. Jesus. Oh, my throat is dying. But I'll be honest, I don't think I'm gonna stick with this game without getting like fully immersed. And I think nowadays it's kind of hard for me to do that. This is kind of like the only way. Oh, the rig is our refuge in the belt. As the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, its automatic systems nudged there by the port's docking protocols, you feel a sense of relief. Seraphin burned hard out of Darkside, and you dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the rig made its way across the belt. But now, with open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. Breaks the silence. We're good, Sleeper. His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked this ship countless times in your work for Lane. The problem is, you don't remember any of them. We made it out. Oh, buttons. We made it, he whispers, closing his eyes and letting out a sigh. I don't know what I would say here. He shakes his head and then unclips from the pilot seat. Seraphin reaches up, flicking through a set of switches in a practiced fashion, completing the shutdown. You watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize, is just another thing you've forgotten. A clunk that runs through the walls of the ship is followed by a short percussive alarm tone from the pilot's console. Docking complete. Seraphin kicks off from his seat, twisting as he glides past you towards the back of the cockpit. His hands find the rails on either side of the door and he pauses, facing into the corridor beyond. He turns back to you, backlit in cold cyan. We need a plan. Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly. We gotta talk, bro. Not now, Sleeper. We need to forget. We need to focus on something other than us. We need to survive this thing first, then maybe talk. That's not fair, bro. We gotta... But I get it. We're not safe yet. But it's also not fair. What isn't fair, Sleeper? Oh, what isn't fair, Sleeper, is that I just gave up everything for someone who can barely remember my name. He tenses at his own unexpected anger. We are not doing this. Not now. Closes his eyes and looks down. Just let me think. I need to think. We've bought ourselves some time. He glances through the cockpit window at the blinking lights of the station. You may not remember Hexport, but I do. There are plenty of opportunities for us, if we can keep our heads down. That's what we'll do. He pushes off and glides towards the main lock, and you follow, pulling yourself along hand over hand in 0G. We already emptied the tank on this thing, slaps a hand against the ship's insides, so we need to refuel, and that won't be cheap. But if you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work. I'm gonna get myself reacquainted, see if I can turn up any old connections, people that might throw us an easy contract. You You keep out of trouble. Low profile. Got it. Stopping the reboot halfway through. He pulls a worn crew jacket from a locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. I don't want you passing out. It'll take both of us, I guess. I hate it when you're right. Grab another crew jacket and thrust it at you. Just put the damn hood up, will you? Thank you. Seraphin nods, stabs at the button to open the lock. The inner door hisses open, Seraphin glides through. Wait for a little bit, then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people traveling together. Looks at you in your worn crew jacket, a limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper. We meet back here later. Any trouble? Same thing. Meet here. Surveys your disguise again, shakes his head. This is a shitty idea. Gives you one last look. Maybe find yourself something to eat. Suddenly you recognize Seraphin's instinct to look after you. A flash of relationship now lost to the reboot. Catch! Seraphin throws a handful of something towards you. You manage to grab the projectiles, and when you open your hand, you see a stack of cryo-chits. Those should get you some food. We'll need some more food, fuel and supplies. That means odd jobs in the station. For both of us. Don't go too far, alright? Take it slow. And with that, he's gone, leaving the connecting bridge and heading into Export's docking concourse. You wait for a moment in silence. I think my instinct is to make a plan. You try to think ahead to what might be coming. You'll need work, that's the first step, but what then? Lane will be coming eventually. The sooner you can put some distance between you and Hexport, the better. So that's the plan. Rest, resupply, run. You shake the thoughts from your head and pull the jacket tight. Let's see what Hexport has to offer. You kick off and glide into port. Oh boy. Okay. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2. Game runs in cycles during which you can perform actions with dice, use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies, and items, progress clocks towards new scenes and events. Okay. So what do we do here? That's the docks, home, goods. We only have these two sections. Okay. Let's check the exchange. Perform actions by assigning action dice to them. Higher the dice you assign, the more likely you'll succeed in an action. Dice will be modified by skill. Skill is displayed on the right and will reduce or increase the value of the dice assigned to the action. Three actions: positive, negative, neutral. Each action is also safe, risky, or dangerous. Okay. There's danger here. Okay, I think I do need... So the bottom one requires both of these events, I think. The trigger. So here... I guess we should read this out. Trade scrap. It's a very engineering-focused skill. Trading scrap is all about identifying materials and cleaning up components. It's an engineer's job more than a trader's. And then to impress the brokers, interfacing. The data brokers are the heart of the exchange. They show off their knowledge by discussing decryption. Maybe, if you can talk the talk. I have plenty of 4 dice here. Let's hit up... Let's go. Okay. Hold on. What about this one? Ooh, yikes. That's pretty bad. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. Let's do this. You intervene. Oh, shit. Clocks. Okay. Okay. You intervene when 2 brokers struggle to unpick a Senate stat cache, or cache, and expertly unpick its security protocols. They're impressed. Okay. Well, that's that. What about this? A trade hall. Oh, we can buy shit here. How much of this stuff do we have? We have 24 cryo, 2 food, and no fuel. Oh, I didn't mean to back out. It's 25 to fill our fuel. Maybe we don't need to do this yet. Here, this is the docks. Explore the docks. Hexport's docks are dizziness with braided cables and flickering signage, filled with busy spacers. Exploring is both thrilling and intimidating. Chat to the crews. Plenty of crews milling are on the docks and moving cargo. They can be a good source of info. Okay. Go here. Let's hit the exchange. Let's hit the thing that we know for sure is a success. You try to advise a broker on ways to break open Solheim data caches, and they seem vaguely interested. Okay, we can do one more. I want to save the other 2 higher dice. We got all. Let's try to sneak away with 3. Ooh, okay. This is a negative outcome, but we've managed to fill that thing. You've established a presence here, and the brokers seem to be a little more comfortable around you. And I can't do this anymore. I can't do that anymore. Okay. Oh! New location. The canteen. Here we go. Here, you can eat in exchange for cryo. Eating gives you energy and stops you starving. Different food gives you a different amount of energy. Okay. Let's buy some food. Oh! Phil. Alright. Sounds good. This is the rig. Ship and home in the starboard belt. While the rig is docked at a hub, there are multiple areas you can visit. Bunks, use dice to reduce stress. Galley, use supplies to regain energy. Other locations will unlock as you play. While the rig is docked at a hub, your crew will also help to gather resources to contribute to the upkeep of the ship. You can choose which resources they should focus on in the crew task menu to the left. They have a random chance of acquiring it at the beginning of the following cycle. Okay. Cycle clock. Progress towards an event in each cycle. Okay. Well, let's not waste our 2 other dice. So, we don't need to, whatchamacallit. We don't gotta risk it if they both fail it, it doesn't matter. Let's chat to some crews. Join a few spacers, rest stake in the docks, and pick up a few local tips. A crew welcomes you enthusiastically and gives you a quick tour of the docks. Okay. Perfect. Also, just realized. Oh god. Oh god. Cycles and energy. Use 1 energy. Each cycle clock will progress 1 segment. In the energy and are starving, you will also gain 1 stress. You regain energy by eating. Ending the cycle, re-roll or roll any used or unused dice. Okay. Let's. So here we rest and we reduce stress. Let's end the cycle. Oh, Jesus, so fast. We're in trouble, sleeper. Seraphin leans into the bunks as you're getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor towards the rear of the ship. You drift out into the passage, pulling on your clothes, and glide down the length of the rig, the cool air making you shiver. Seraphin is a silhouette silently leading the way. He stops at the far end, diverting through a side door, shooting you a glance as he does. You find Seraphin inside, holding one of a tangle of arm-thick tubes that are waving in the zero-G engine room. You know what these are? Fuel pipes? Close enough. These are the engine's feed lines. And before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be waggling loose. What happened? These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of Darkside. We're lucky the reserve tank is empty. Otherwise, it would have been bad. But no feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is limited to the local region only. This thing can't take us anywhere far. But we need to leave. No doubt. We're gonna need to fix this. Otherwise, no one's leaving. Wax the engine housing again. Harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines, his frustration evident in the violence of his movements. We'll need a new set of these, that's for sure. Starts forcing them into a crate. So, how about you try to track them down? I'll take a look at things here and see if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. Glances up from his work. From what I've heard on Hexport, Factory Row is the place to find ship fitters. Maybe you can do some recon while I sort this place out. It's on the other end of the station. Alright, I'll take a look. And Seraphin keeps working. Wait, there's something else. He drops the feed lines and they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed. I've heard word Lane's on the hunt. He frowns. A message went out everywhere, in the local radius of Darkside. He's looking for us. And we can't leave. Exactly. Which is why we need those feed lines. I'm gonna try to work something out. Maybe I can improvise a solution. I don't know. I'm no ship fitter. But while I do, you go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? Get going. You leave the engine room, the clanking sound of Seraphin's cleanup efforts echoing through the ship. Fuel feed lines. That's the next step. Take a breath and head out. Oh, fuck. What's a drive? Oh. Scrivener drive. Drives help you track and choose your objectives to Citizen Sleeper 2. The arrow button on the top left opens the drive menu where you can choose which drive to track. Once a drive is tracked, a yellow marker will be placed above any location that relates to the drive. Drives come in two types, major and minor. On completion, a major drive rewards 2 upgrade points and a minor rewards 1. Keep an eye on the drive menu as you progress to see what new opportunities and objectives are available and track those you want to pursue. Let's see, it's not major. Fuel, prepare, find what you need, leave 45. Okay, I guess we'll track that. We have some pretty big dice now. Bar, Play, Star, and Stoker. Plastic bag of... potatoes, I think? Fries. Okay. Way station dock. There's still more here, but I don't know. I feel like I should work on progress instead. Let's head here and see what's going on first. Search the row. The factory owners of the row speak mostly in terms of supply and demand, but going door to door might help you find the ship fitter you need. And to haul materials, the factory row is lined with workers hauling material through its zero-G corridors. Helping might win you some fans among the factories. Can I see my stats? Interface is kind of the one I'm good at. Let's blow this here. Explore. Ooh, okay. You joust a little around scrap contracts, and the factory owners respond well to the haggling, eager to meet your challenges. Let's do this. You spend as much time listening as you do talking, and seem to make some headway into negotiating your contract. One more. You have a little trust with the factories, now the trick is not to waste it. The Hexport. Factory Row howls as you glide through its cramped passages. Whatever its many bays and rooms once were, they now serve as containers for industry of every kind. Roaring manufactories precisely engineer components with rapidly shifting arms while scrappers hammer incessantly at bent ship plates. Everywhere you look, there is energy and activity, and for good reason. Hexport itself is built on the derelict fragments of a solar reflector, and even the small amount of energy generated by its remaining mirrors is enough to power a city of machines. It's familiar to you, of course, in a strange, far-off way because of Dark Side. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it is hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors, 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport's, and that wild, flickering city growing on their back like a tumor. In comparison, Hexport feels provincial, but deep in Factory Row, you can almost be back in Dark Side. And then you see them, tubes just like those Seraphim had waved in your face, the feed lines. You push over to the display window of the unit, marked Karsten's Supply in block capitals, cut from whole plate. There, amongst an angled shelf of oversized ship components, sit the feed lines like some large biomechanical tangle of snakes. You slip inside, with the sound of Factory Rows a little strained, and spot a large figure working at a bench. Hunched over, concentrating, it seems he doesn't notice you entered it. I would wait. I would wait patiently. You let him work, watching as, despite his heavy build, he delicately aligns the components, their layers slotting like puzzle pieces. After a few moments of observing the process, he turns his head a little towards you. Can I help you? His accent is heavy, but unknown to you. Let's get straight to business. Those feed lines. How much? There is a sharp clink as Karsten places his tools, the component against the magnetic plate on the wall. He turns with a surprising grace and begins cleaning his hands with a cloth. Those sharp eyes scan you, but Karsten's thick-set features do not betray the results of his assessment. Custom-built those, for a client that never collected. He looks at his hands while he speaks, checking for stray oil stains. You have one of the old MEVs then? He sounds out the letters in a way you don't recognize as he speaks. You try to recall anything you know about your ship, but the memories elude you. Perhaps Seraphim should have come along. I think so. He squints a little. Right. Look. For a fellow enthusiast like you, let's say a few hundred cryo on clean chits. 400, let's say, to be precise. I don't have 400. He looks you up and down and sniffs. It's expensive, I know. It's a shame, but it's just what they're worth. He screws up his mouth a little into something that might be a smile. However, I'm more of the bartering type myself anyway. You know what? Barter sounds good. He nods sagely. There's a little favor I need a crew for, and well, you look like you might be a good fit. He tucks the cloth away in a pocket and clasps his hands. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there. Very old, pre-collapse. It's tucked away in a dead zone, so no one has ever really cut it. Not only that, but Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering nasty security protocols when approached by an unfamiliar ship, so it's been left well alone. But a salvager like you, with an old Solheim rig, I bet it wouldn't even flinch if it saw you coming. I have a special interest. A need for that old tech. All those Solheim chips had a data core, and while I don't care about the accounting reports or material ledgers or whatever they kept in the damn thing, I do care about the hardware. So, I was to find you back here, with that data core in your cargo hold, clean cut and complete. Well, and I can see my way to doing a straight barter for those feed lines. You just need the coordinates. Why do you want it? Special interest. You wait for more, but his flat expression tells you it isn't coming. So, you interested? Because I'm a busy man. You know what? Sure. What's the worst that could happen? Why not? I'll do it. Alright then. Holds out a heavy hand for you to shake, and as you automatically reach out, he grabs your forearm instead. He pulls you closer, squeezing your arm. Let's keep this one between us, alright? He half smiles, his face huge and close. It's our deal. Before you can respond, he thumbs a little drive into your palm. Those coordinates, and then he lets go of your arm with what you swear is a wink. You take a moment to gather yourself, and by the time you do, a whirring fills the air, Carson having returned to his workbench. You turn and glide out of Carson's supply with a growing mix of anxiety and excitement in the pit of your stomach, and like a cacophony of factory row in your ears. A contract. Seraphim might even be impressed. You look at the drive in your palm and smile. This could be a route out. You think of leaving this place behind, in possession of an improved ship too. Suddenly, a small but firm hand falls on your back, and an equally small voice coming with it. Hey, wait up! Junie, a secretive data extractor. You turn in the passage to see a young woman, her hair waving from the rapid glide she clearly just came out of to catch you. She steadies herself using your shoulder. Sorry. Wanted to catch you. I'm Junie. Her dark eyes flicker around nervously. You notice the portable terminal she carries, something data scrapers call a deck, and her backpack full of components and trailing wires. What's up? Karsten. She starts, still catching her breath. Sent me to grab you. She smiles that flat smile again, and wants me to come with you on that job. Her eyes shoot down to the drive in the palm of your hand. She smiles again. Why didn't he tell me? She glances back towards Carson's. I guess he forgot? He does that sometimes. He just grabbed me after you two were done talking, so... Carson's always sending me on things like this. I guess he wants me to help you out. Keep an eye on things. That can be pretty helpful. So should I meet you at your ship and you can tell me when you're ready to go? Honestly, I'm kind of not sure. Sure. Why not? More the merrier, I guess. She notices she still has her hand on your shoulder and takes it off. Looking forward to working with you. What about the ship? Oh, I'll find it. She calls back and then disappears down the passage. Oh, we're just back. Okay. I don't know about this sleeper. Seraphim looks nervously out of the rig's windows as you finish explaining Carson's deal, as well as Junie's offer to help. If this job was easy, Carson would have done it himself already. That means there's a catch. And there's definitely something going on with this Junie girl. He shakes his head. What choice do we have, though? What if we could get the cryo together to buy the feed lines? Is that even possible? I found a contract board at the exchange further in station. We take in a job? That might get us some of the way towards buying those feed lines. Plus, even if we do want to take Carson's job, a bit of money to get ourselves prepared wouldn't be a bad idea. Fill up on fuel supplies, be ready for whatever comes. Do we have time? Probably not, but without cryo for fuel and supplies, we aren't going anywhere. Just take a look at the contract board, see what you think. And while you're at it, you might want to see if you can scare up some freelance crew too. Many hands make light work and all that. Or we stop messing around, we take his job right now and get it done before we can think twice. Seems like a whole set of bad options to me. Either way, I've still got work to do on the drive. Let me know what you decide. The moment you pause, letting the haze of plans and ideas settle in your mind, suddenly you curl up, pain shooting along your spine. You grit your teeth, your muscles lock tight, and your vision narrows as you squeeze your eyes shut. You feel a shift as if some connection is broken. It's almost impossible to describe, like you're floating away from your body, dispersing, dissolving. There's nothing familiar in the pain, nothing to hold on to. Grit your teeth. And then, another shift comes, and you're back in your body, trembling against the metal wall of the passage. The pain slowly fades, becoming a pulsing throb and then a residual flicker. You flex in 0G, stretching out the tension. Bro, we got Charlie horsed. There's a strange sensation of distance that persists beyond the pain. A disconnection between your body and yourself, a flickering numbness that refuses to recede. You wonder if the reboot has done something to your body, or if this is some new sensation that we'll have to live with indefinitely. It strikes you that you know so little about the body that houses you. It could be moments away from collapse, or it might persevere for countless cycles like this. You try to shake off the feeling, pushing your hands against each other until they feel like they're yours again. Time is the only thing you need, and right now it feels like it's running out fast. You head for the airlock. You have work to do. Map contracts. Open the map screen. Contracts are high-risk, high-reward jobs that you and your crew can take on. Contract required preparation to prepare to succeed. You gather enough fuel, supplies, opportunities to recruit crew. Takes 3 fuel to get there. Who do we okay, we just buy there. The contract board. Station managers have located Conway's signal. They're concerned to see one so close and are looking for someone to disable its service. I've only got 18 left. Can I trade some more? Okay, buy fuel here, which we'll need. I can buy all the fuel we need for that. Let's play some fucking games. Alright, we'll gain 5, baby. A couple lucky rolls give you a payout that raises eyebrows among the space because you quickly lose half of it. Time to stop. Let's go for a full 6, baby. There we go. Nothing is more suspicious than a string of wins in a game of chance. You leave with a stack of chits and a reputation. Okay, well, now that we're done, let's hit up this. 32. Let's buy everything. Yeah, let's fill up. And then let's go here. That's our goal. Let's go here. We gotta talk to. Okay, let's not use that. Sleep. Okay, let's end the cycle. Next day, I think we end up going. Okay. Oh, and we got 3 chits, or 4 chits, I think, from Seraphim. Let's go to... Hold on, let's... Can we hire someone? We're able to hire anyone. We could do this. There's no harm in not doing it. Okay. Map. Now we can go to here, which is 2 and 3. Let's grab the Conway signal. And then let's travel. Yeah, let's do that. Because if we do this, we get 200 chits right away. And then we'll have, oh, I have 2 6s here. Okay, the drone. Seraphim spots the signal source first, the light barely shimmering off its dark hull plating, a design trait that betrays its covert use. A flash catches your attention and you see a rent in the hull through which red lights pulse. Wounded. Wish they'd finished the job. You seen one before? We've seen one before. Don't you? Sorry. I know it isn't your fault. He looks at the drone. Lane had us work on one in the dark side bay. It was barely a shell. Disarmed and deactivated. He had us searching through its guts for salvage. Even that one gave me the creeps and it had its core ripped out. He pushes the ship closer. This one's still alive. Seraphim carefully guides the ship closer. You watch the drone. The system is full of these things now, running missions for their operators. Rare to see one out in the belt, though. If you got hit during a run-in with Senate stat mercs. Looks like it's drifting. Most of the systems blown out. But look, there. Still broadcasting. Maybe even receiving. Can it attack us? Unlikely. Would have blasted us already if it could. Try not to dwell on the thought. Seraphim brings you ever closer. What I remember from the dark side job is that the central core and the broadcast array need to be shut off to kill these things. The core will turn off local systems, and the broadcast array will sever the link with the convoy operators. But you can bet those systems are protected. Your attention is suddenly drawn by a shudder from the drone, like a tremor running along its length. This thing is rigged to blow, Sleeper. We go slow and careful, and we don't touch anything we don't know about. You nod along automatically, slow and careful. Seraphim brings the rig to a stop, close enough for you to cross through open space to reach the drone's hull. Let's suit up. You head down to the airlock to prepare. As you get suited up, you think of the corporate war taking place in the inner system, the war that this drone was driven from. Out here, on the shore of the conflict, the biggest danger is that this flotsam and jetsam drifting in with the tides and the orbits of the system might, one cycle, bring the war with it. For now, the belt is outside of its reach, but looking at the red pulsing drone, that doesn't give you much comfort. Ah, shit. Here's our first contract. While on a contract, you'll be able to assign 2 dice for each party member as you would assign your own dice. Pay attention to the crew skills to use them effectively. On certain outcomes, crew will take crew stress. When their stress is full, you will no longer be able to use them to perform actions. While on a contract, your energy bar will automatically be supplied for each cycle that you have available supplies. When your supplies are depleted, both you and your crew will take 1 stress per cycle. Contracts also have their own contract stress. When this bar is filled, the contract will fail. Okay. Drone interior. Identify route. Slip through the gaps in the damaged hull. Where to go. How to bind. Create an opening. Gap where the drone sustained some damage with a lot of effort. It might be possible to pry away the plates and create an entry point. Okay, none of those seem good for us. Not good for our things. So let's see. Reprogram hatch with the drone in such a reactive state, ready to fry itself in defense. Perhaps reprogramming the hatch to open up to your crew is the best approach. Release the hatch, the drone is in delicate state, and any damage could cause it to trigger its self-destruct. It will take skill to release the hatch. Because we don't have any good ways in here. Both of Seraphim's skills are not great. They don't give us much of a bonus. Let's hit access hatch, and let's use me. At 4. I'm sorry? Oh, proficient. I thought it said inefficient. Okay. Let's hit 5. Let's try to hit a 5. This is a 50-50. Oh, that's so many. How many to do the other one? Oh, it's just as much. Okay, I think this one is probably the most likely. Let's hit 3. didn't do much. Let's try it again. Okay. Systems begin to give up their secrets. With enough time, the access hatch can be opened. Here we do a 50-50. Okay. I just realized we might not have enough supplies for the rest of this. Gain some stress. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. I fucked up. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Nice. Okay. During contract, you can push to give you an edge. Pushing requires accrues 1 stress. Key event based on your class. You can see your current push by pushing the stick in. Press it against trigger push. Okay. I might have fucked myself that time, but that's okay. Down to 1 supply. Good. Better. Alright, let's keep chipping away at this hatch. Waste our lowest die. Pretty good. Not bad. If we're lucky, we can save our high die. Or... let's go, baby! We're in. You hear the bleeping immediately. Among the chambers and cabling of the drone's interior, something has started counting down. Ah, shit. This is what I was worried about. We screwed? I can't be sure. As if that might make a difference. Either this thing is about to send out a distress call, or it's about to blow. We gotta shut this system down fast. Then we move on to the other side, because I bet you there's a surprise waiting for us there too. Take a moment in the silence. Alright. Deal with this fast. Then get over to the other side before something happens. Awesome! 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 Okay. Okay. So we disconnect the backup. In the core, the drone is running on backup power. Disconnect that carefully and you'll be one step closer to a full shutdown. Okay. Oh, I forgot he has dice too. Okay. Okay. Let's use up his stuff. Just to get them out of the way. Alright. We're gonna take one more. Ah, shit, we're starving. We're starving. Uh-oh. You're taking damage to a dice because of stress. When your dice are rolled at the start of the cycle, your stress dictates if you take damage or not. Higher stress means a higher chance of damage. Oh, the white markers above the stress bar tell you which dice will damage your, which numbers will damage your dice when rolled. Each dice has 3 health. When this is depleted, the dice will break and must be repaired to use normally. Typically, broken dice cannot be used. However, on safe difficulty they can and are counted as a 1. If you have many broken dice and feel stuck, consider switching to safe in the pause menu to give yourself a chance to recover. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Sounds good. It's okay. We can work with this. I'll take 1 more stress. Oh, just kidding. Oh, fuck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's use the force. Let's go, baby. Okay, now on this side. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Okay. We're getting there. Okay. I'm starting to run out of options here. Yeah. What do I gotta lose? Stakes, supplies. Okay. Let's... one more. Yeah, okay. I took damage. One of my dice is broken, losing its health. Okay, that's fine. We got enough. This is enough. Actually, he's got better dice this time around. Let's use Seraphim for this. Fuck. You're supposed to give me a good one, man. That's okay. That's okay. We're in. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Good thing I'm good at this. Hack broadcast. Now we're in the broadcast array. We'll need to shut it down fast. Simplest way is to put the system offline. And this is kind of all me. Is that 50-50? Yeah, no. Let's go with this. Give us a positive. Okay. The thrumming, pulsing interior of the drone goes still for the first time since you boarded it. You look across at Seraphim and share a smile. You exhale so loudly it can be heard over the suit's shared comm channel. The drone is dead. Seraphim slaps the metal inside of the drone. Too easy, you ugly bastard. You make your way back out to the hull, the drone now faintly rolling in one direction, its stabilizers offline. You and Seraphim glide out across the hull, towards the rig. Feels good to shut down Corporate property, and deserve everything they've got coming for trying to take Hellion back. You reach the rig's airlock and take one last look at the drone's dark hull. It catches its light as it rolls in the vacuum. At some point in the near future, this drone will likely be smashed to bits by one of the many asteroids of the belt, spread across the places twinkling dust. The thought pleases you. As is the thought of all that crypto, the cryo Hexport now owes you. Time to go collect. It's way too close to say crypto. Alright, let's get the fuck home, man. Yes, let's leave. Holy shit. After docking Seraphim, let's go to the controls and leans back in his chair. Feels good to make contract work. No matter how we pull it off. It's hard not to agree, and it feels better when the Hexport courier comes with a lockbox full of chits. Lane might still be hunting you, but this should help the effort to slip his net. Alright, let's, holy shit. You think 4? Goddamn. I guess we just hold on to it until we can spend it. Let's grab full supplies. Oh. Yeah, full supplies for our gas. And also eat some good food. Grabbing it shift. Okay. Let's go there. Yeah. Alright. Looks like we're in. We got more dice available here too. We got Junie. I will say, Junie's kind of sus. Alright, we're back on the rig. The Solheim derelict fills the cockpit windows, all twisted plates and skeletal strutwork. You watch it in horror and fascination as Seraphim completed the approach, both of you silent in the presence of this decaying beast. Now as you settle beside it, Seraphim is the first to break the silence. This thing's already dead. He shakes his head. It's a corpse, Sleeper. He nudges the ship closer, looking for a place to dock. I touch this thing too hard, it'll crumble to dust. Let's not do that. Seraphim does a little mock salute. Aye, aye. Rolls his eyes. Any other tips? Pick us up there. That's the bridge. Junie points towards one end of the ship, and both you and Seraphim turn around, having forgotten she was even in the cockpit. She hadn't said a word since he departed. She glances at both of your bemused faces. What? She looks away. Sorry, that's where we need to go. She stops pointing. Seraphim nods towards Junie. She's not wrong, Sleeper. Bridge would be a good start. To the bridge, then. Let's do it. Takes control of the ship, a wooden debris field closer to the center of the wreck. He settles in position near a protrusion at the far end. This is as far as I'll go. We should be able to anchor the ship to those plates. You hear Junie begin to protest from behind you, but it's too late. Seraphim fires two Python-tipped anchor lines at the nearest solid hull plates. The Pythons slam to the plates, and despite their solid appearance, they instantly shatter. The fragments spin out across the wreck, slicing into other plates and building a spiraling storm of debris. Shit! Seraphim nudges the ship back and steadies it as debris cascades across the surface of the wreck. The damage seems mostly superficial, but it underlines just how fragile the derelict is. Let's not do that again. Data core will be very fragile. We have to. We've got it. Last thing I need is a backseat driver. Kicks off and glides past her into the corridor. Sorry, Junie. No problem. We all want the same thing here, right? Work it out. Follows Seraphim down the passage with Junie close behind, and as you reach the airlock, he's already angrily suiting up, his frustration evident. Let's not say anything. Let him cool off, man. The rest of the preparation process takes place in tense silence, each of you considering the delicate job ahead. You suit up too, though you don't need a helmet to breathe. You slide one on and lock the seals for protection. This wreck isn't going to give up its salvage easily. The core should be near the bridge, maybe even inside it. There's a lot of wreck here. Now, it might be good salvage tucked away in the cargo hold. Once the suits are on and the seals are checked, you cycle up the lock and stare out at the vast expanse of the twisted hulk before you. Time to go to work. Guys, you gotta roll higher dice. Everyone's got shit for dice. Let's hit the airlock. None of us are very good at these, so let's... Goddamn, none of us are good at these. At any of these. At least here we have two good options. Let's start with the access point. Looks like I'm going to be the one taking point on this. Well, I'd prefer not to. Alright, 2 and 1, but all of our dice are... all my dice is fucked. Alright, found a passage seam to the cargo bay. Let's see what's inside. In here... we can use Junie's dice. Ooh, yikes. process, but a systematic approach to the mapping proves worthwhile. It can be done. Let's go for 2. Fuck. Okay. Not great, honestly. What's this one? That's danger? Fuck. Okay. God damn, we're not gonna get anything done. This will be forcing. Fuck. Okay. Maybe? Come on. That's fine, he can deal. Good enough. Good enough. We can take the rest of the day slow. Oh. Ah, shit. Okay, at least everyone else's dice are kind of pretty good here. Let's go back to mapping the bay. Let's mix up our low dice. There we go. Good, good. Bays are mapped, and it seems that the deep parts of the ship are in surprisingly good condition. What we got here? Extract raw scrap. I don't think it's worth here. Let's go back to the front. Okay, looks like we're using all of our other dice there. I don't think we're gonna have any issues doing this. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Where is this? Where is the location? Hull breach? Uh-oh. Hull is falling apart. If this isn't sealed and fast, the entire wreck will collapse. Bro? Alright, bro. I think you're on this. Okay. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Okay, there we go. God, that was stressful. Okay, we use Junie's thing. Just kidding, we don't. Okay. I guess we call it there. Let's end the cycle now. Shit. We take damage on 2 rolls and 1 rolls. Okay, these rolls are pretty mediocre. That's okay. Oh, this doesn't really get us anything. We got 1 scrap. Let's just keep moving. Hit for 3. Good. And a 2 is kind of bad. Let's go for 4. Yikes. Yikes. 5. And let's use Junie's 5. Junie's 5 will put us at 3. That's pretty nice 50-50. Okay. A new crisis? Fuck. Already? Jesus. How much time do I have this? 1 per cycle? Let's for 3. Let's hold. We'll have to end the cycle there. I might have fucked this. I might have fucked this up real bad. Oh! Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Junie, please? Alright. Alright, we're in. We're in the derelict now. Twisted plates and dark passages. The bridge of the derelict lies silent. The pale beams of your suit lamps catch rows of terminals with clouds of glittering dust. Wires wave like seaweed and the whole scene appears as if underwater. Chaotic, but still. Junie glides past you, disturbing the dust and taking you by surprise as she does. She's been a stoic presence so far, but in this moment she seems drawn forward by some force of curiosity. You watch as she bats away debris and begins checking terminals. Let her work. She's already prying an access panel off one of the more intact-looking terminals, and as she does, puffs of rust color the vacuum around her red. Let's just approach. Turns back to the terminal and finishes prying off the plate, then quickly she reaches inside, fishing for something. Hold on a second, folks. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. She reaches around inside, fishing for something. Her hand comes back out with a waving cable topped with a thick connector. As soon as she sees it, she slips a keyboard-sized deck out from somewhere on her person. She runs her hand across the back until she finds the right port and slots in the connector. All this happens in a few seconds, the routine practiced and precise. It's hard not to be impressed. Let her work. Junie's fingers dance across the deck's keyboard and a burst of static lights up the Solheim terminal screen. A sudden burst of light and color takes you by surprise. Her fingers tap away, the terminal screen flashing with blocks of color and lines of code. It buzzes and vibrates. Its long dead systems forced back into chaotic life. And all at once, it goes dark. Terminal's dead. Shit. Useless. You can't tell if the insult is directed at the terminal or herself. There's plenty more. She looks up at you, a confused expression on her face, and then scans around the bridge. I suppose, but even from here I can see most of them are less than scrap. The cradle with the data core can't be far. I'll start looking, she calls back, and heads to the other side of the bridge. Seraphim glides up beside you. Everything alright? What do you think of Junie? Kid? You'd know better than me. Keeps to herself. Squints at her retreating form. Seraphim stretches in his suit. I have to admit, it's nice to be back working, especially now that we're the ones who will reap the benefits. Feels good to be taking our fate into our own hands. I know it's pretty rough there, back on Hexport, and out here we're just as likely to get shredded by debris as find the damn data core. But aren't you glad we made a break for it? I mean, I am. I just don't want to speak for you. Honestly, I don't know. It's a lot. Sure. I know that. Look. Once we got a bit of space behind us, once we've gone the distance, if we even manage to get that far, don't feel you owe me. I'm no charity case. You want us to go our separate ways? Fine by me. Just do me the favor of telling me that to my face. That won't happen. Seraphim nods but doesn't respond. After a moment, he shines his torch out into the dark, checking the rows of terminals all across the bridge. You watch the glittering dust as it eddies the beam. Let's get to it. You watch as he crosses the bridge, his torch probing the dark corners. You feel a chill run through your body as you imagine the people that once ran the ship, the Solheim crew, surely long dead. What was it like here, before the collapse, when the system was the jewel in Solheim's crown? It's impossible to know, and history is lost to you now. All you can do is pick what you can from the ruins. Oh god, what's the vibes here, you know? It feels like The vibe here feels pretty tough. Pretty rough. Shit. I'm gonna start running out of dice, man. Let's read these out. Data core location, the bridge and data core must be connected, but in a wreck as big as this, tracing that connection is a challenge. To reboot the system, rather than hunting old pathways, rebooting selected sections of the ship systems might reveal the data core's location as it responds. Track the pathways. One way to find the ship's data core is to systematically track the old pathways through derelict in hopes of finding one that connects to it. Well, right away, rebooting sounds like a better idea. We've got better dice to reboot. Jesus. Okay, we're so close. Fuck. Let's cut our losses here. Okay, we got good dice. This might be it. Here, we'll use the lowest die. Very good. And we'll use... Let's use the lowest die. Very good. One more. Fuck. After an exhausting search through treacherous corridors, jagged and molded shape. Okay. And now we just have one, and I think let's use it. Junies. Perfect. We're good now. Now extracting it is all that remains, which might honestly be the toughest part. Just kidding. We got skills for this. We got 3 guaranteed. And these are separate. They're not the same. But these are all going to be guaranteed. Let's go. One more. And oh my god, I might lose another die. Oh my god, I have 1 die. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Junie, please pull through. Thank fucking God. Oh, okay. You watch nervously as Junie glides the core out of the cradle. A large ball, almost half your height in diameter. It glides up out of the framework that held it, connections waving loose and cut. Her breathing comes through the suit's comms, loud enough to be picked up, and it fills you with tense energy as you watch. Over the course of this job, you've seen Junie both focused and distracted, nervous and precise, but you have not seen her any more confident than in this moment now. She floats beside the data core, handling it with care and skill, as if it were the vast egg of some endangered bird. She glances up and sees you watching her, and you notice something unfamiliar in her eyes, something that you might have perhaps seen in a passing moment before, only now it is no momentary lapse or change. It's set in place. You see determination. She guides the core a little away from you with one hand, and at the same time comes forward, almost placing herself between you and her prize. And it does seem to be hers, in the way she handles it, the possessive way she screens it with her body. We need to talk. Right now. What are you doing? Sleeper? I want to be honest with you, but I need to know you won't take this from me. Junie glances around the cradle defensively, but Seraphim is already heading back to the ship to prepare the cargo bay for the core storage. You two are alone. Sure, talk, lady. She looks at you hard, trying to read your expression. Karsten doesn't deserve this. This treasure, Sleeper. You know how many of these are left intact? And all he wants to do is wipe it clean so he can use it to interface with Hexport. All that data, gone. So, what do you want? I want to extract the data to make use of it. You see some genuine emotion flicker in her eyes. After extracting the data, the core will be unusable. There's a security system that will fry it if data duplication is attempted. I can delay the security response long enough to copy the data, but after that... You've done this before. Yes, that's why I came. Look at this place, Sleeper. She gestures to the cradle room, a dark and twisted cavern of long-dead tech. How many of these places are left? How many chances do we have to recover anything this old, this fragile? Like it or not, we live in Solheim's shadow, in their ruins. And yet we know almost nothing. What chance do we have of understanding how we got here when others like them, like Zenitstat and Conway, are descending on the system? What can we learn from the core? I don't know, Sleeper. That's the point. She gestures around herself. We could learn our history and how the system was settled. We could better learn the technology we build our lives on. We could uncover Solheim's crimes and seek to make amends. We could see beyond survival towards something else. You've never heard Junie speak like this, and you realize that you've taken for nervousness was actually control. This, the person in front of you defending a decaying data core with their life, is the real Junie. Ah, shit. But then you think of Lane, of the price he likely put on your head and Seraphin's heads, and of the feed lines without which leaving Hexport will be almost impossible. Is he even a choice? Let's talk to her about her. Junie listens carefully to tell her about the deal with Karsten, the feed lines he offered you, and that both you and Seraphin are on the run. And I'll help you. We find another way to get those feed lines. Karsten is an idiot. I can hack his security and you can pull them out of there. Or Seraphin looks tough. Maybe he can grab them? We can do it. We can do something. Don't you work for him? Look, I knew you wouldn't take me if... I might have misled you there. I knew he knew where the derelict was, and I heard your conversation. I've been keeping an eye on him. I know I lied, but I can help you. Let me strip the data from the core, and I promise to help you get the feed lines. She meets your eyes with intensity. It's a lot of information to take in at once. Need a second to think. Let's do it. Thank you. This is a gift to all of us, Sleeper. I hope you will see it like that. Junie turns to the data core, quickly gathering one of its loose connections. She takes out her deck and plugs it in, then crosses her legs and places it across them, floating tethered beside the core. Her fingers begin tapping at the keyboard, teasing out the core's data and whatever Solheim secrets it might contain. As she does, Seraphin enters. He braces himself in the entryway. What's she doing? Junie doesn't seem to notice. I'll explain later. I hope you know what you're doing, Sleeper. That's our ticket out of Hexport. Junie will help us. If you say so. A little while later, once the core has been emptied out, and its defense mechanism scorched its seams black, you watch the metallic sphere spinning gently in the room and wonder if you've just made a terrible mistake. We might as well we might as well get all we can out of this thing. Alright. We don't gotta deal with that. Let's get out of here. Oh, that was so stressful. As you arrive into Hexport, Junie speaks up from the back of the cockpit. We're gonna have to act fast if you want to take those feed lines. You and Seraphin exchange glasses. You're both still getting used to this new Junie. We? Only one of us fried the core and stole all its data. And for some reason we let you! It was the right call. Was it? Well, I'm reassured. I don't think Karsten's gonna take kindly to the idea we brought someone pretending to work for him on the job and let her have his prize. Do you even know what she's up to? Junie looks between the two of you. Hexport hasn't exactly been kind to me. You two trusted me even though I didn't deserve it. I'm not used to that. I want to repay it. Not to mention that Carson's probably ripping you off. Even if you get enough cryo, what's to say he won't raise the price? Trust me, he's no good. I was trying to deal with Carson to get those derelict coordinates from the moment I arrived here, and he ran me in circles. Seraphine is watching her closely. Even if I do take you at your word, which, given everything, seems a little tough, how do we even do this? You tell me just drift in there and take the feed lines? Look, I get it. You don't trust me. But what if I have a vested interest in this working out? There's nothing left for me here, and I don't feel like hanging around waiting for Carson to figure out my involvement in all this. I need safe passage. You need the feed lines to grant it. See where I'm going with this? I don't like it, but it makes sense. What do you think, Sleeper? Fuck it, we all get something. Exactly. Let me prepare. I'll head a factory road, scope the place out. Maybe there and we can work out a plan. Trust me, we can find a way. Keep it simple. And clean is the way that I make it. Alright, let's get to it. Scope out the bay we need in Factory Row. We should split up, less likely for Carson to suspect us. Meet me there in a few, and we can finish setting up. I want to show I can be trusted. That we can do this. Believe that, please. And with that, she slips down the passage towards the airlock and export beyond. I'm saying nothing. You know, this is the kind of mess you have to go through to get out on the other side, or it's the kind you never escape. Either way, we're in it now. I need my dice fixed. I need my dice fixed. Please, I need my dice fixed. Let's eat good for one. New contracts. Oh, we are so close. Fuck. This should be a good start. Saw our last scrap. I don't think we're gonna need it. Alright. What do you got, Junie? Interfacing? God damn. Oh god. How do we do this? I have one die. This is so fucked. Nuh-uh, dude. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Oh, we're so fucked. We're so fucked. Oh, we're so fucked. How? Uh-oh. 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 Oh, we're so fucked. Oh. Sleeper, we're out of time. He turns back and meets your eye. They're here. We gotta go. Quiet. Why do you think I'm waking you up? They've locked the ship into the station. We can't release the docking bridge. Our credentials are being refused. We're trapped. I don't know if they know we're here, but they certainly want to get in. I reckon we have minutes before they get the cutting torch. We're screwed. The feed lines are a bust. They aren't going to happen now. Our best chance is to burn out of here as fast as we can and hope our drift takes us to a station where we run out of fuel. At least we might live a few more cycles before we starve. I gotta release the lock. You're likely to be sent spinning into the blag. I'll do it. I'm at the controls, waiting. The moment you're in the airlock, I'll burn hard. He clasps you by both of your shoulders, and he looks you in the eye. Then without saying anything, he releases you and glides out of the room. You drift, as quickly and as quietly as you can, slipping into a suit for protection. At least, you think, as you secure the seals, you don't need to breathe. The banging subsides, and you hope the hunters have left, even though you know this is only the quiet before the storm. You take a moment, waiting inside the airlock as it cycles. The second the exterior door begins to open, you go. You dash, the scene in front of you opens as if in slow motion. You see two figures a little way down the docking bridge wearing dark spacesuits, a canister being carried between them. Meanwhile, floating between you and them is a heavy-duty cutting torch, knocked spinning by the opening airlock door. You see the release levers and yellow hazard stripe just beyond the hunters. Oh, we rush, though. We rush. You shift your position, trying to aim for one lever before kicking off hard and stretching out, making yourself as small a target as possible. The two hunters try to grab as you pass, but you spin away from them, struggling through their reaching arms. As you do, you reach out to the lever, stretching your fingertips to wrap around its end. You clasp the head of the lever, and the momentum wrenches it out of its housing, the whole bridge rumbling and twisting as one side comes loose. As you kick off the other side and use all your force to pull the other lever open, you feel the fizzy projectile slice through the air around you. The hunters are firing. A scream blocks out all sound, and you feel an urgent pull tugging you away from the ship. The tunnel bends sickeningly, and then it comes apart. Close enough to the ship that you manage to kick back away from twisting storm debris that the tunnel becomes. You see the dark suits of the hunters among it, retreating towards the station's side airlock. But as they do, a hail of projectiles slices across the void from their direction. You have no time to react. You're carried backward by the hunter stun rounds, their impact shutting off whole sections of your frame. You spin towards the open airlock. Your vision flashes with warning sigils, and you feel a distant throbbing pain. The final faint things you feel before you lose consciousness are the impact of your body against the interior wall of the airlock, the hiss of the cycling system, and the heavy weight of the ship in full burn. Okay. What the? Seraphin's quiet question wakes you from your haze as the rig cuts across the belt. You try to move and feel a wave of flickering pain pass through your body. You flinch and steady your nerves. You find yourself strapped into a seat in the cockpit. Seraphin doesn't seem to have noticed you're awake. You open your mouth to speak, but no words comes out. There's a crackle of noise that echoes through the ship's comms. Seraphin is glancing nervously at his console. Something has been spooked. Sleeper. The voice, as distorted as it is, cuts through you. Lane, I know you're there. You're slipping away. We can't have that. You don't understand why Seraphin isn't reacting to the sound of Lane's voice. Then you realize he can't hear it. The voice is in your head. I take this personally, Sleeper. After all my investment, all my care extended upon you, this is how you repay me. I see a little something glinting out there. Could that be you? You don't move. You don't breathe. All you hear is Lane's voice. Something shifts in you, a sudden impetus, a will to move that is not your own. You unclip from your restraint, drifting forward towards Seraphin. Seraphin looks over his shoulder and sees you. You're up. Take it slow, all right? There's a transmission coming out of Hexport, some kind of evac order? Let me check this. You keep moving forward. Something isn't right. You don't feel right. A numbness grows in your body, your fingers flexing without your input. You reach out towards Seraphin. No, not you. Something reaches out to Seraphin through you. He glances again. He turns again to see you reaching for him, grasping at his neck. Attention flickers in his eyes. Fear. A hissing silence, then a rumbling blast. All at once, the rig screams. System seizing in electromagnetic paralysis. All at once, the rig shifts. Carry on some shock wave of light, pain, and darkness. Voices echo warmly through your mind. You can't make out what is being said, and any attempt to focus causes a growing flare of pain, so you let them fill the air, unidentifiable and soft. You're floating, and so you cannot yet feel your body or its weight. The feeling is pleasant, soothing, until the moment you realize this, it begins to fade. Pain shoots through your system, a reminder of the terrible damage you've suffered. It's bright, white-hot for a moment, and then it's gone. Something spasms in your fingers and you flick it away. A sensation crosses the sole of your foot, and you kick your leg. A weight settles itself in your chest. You're awake. You open your eyes to light playing across the surface patterned with stained cushioning. You're low. The voice is replaced by the hum of air cycling. This isn't clanked of maintenance systems. You're alone. This is not your ship. You jerk upwards against the straps that hold you loosely to the berth, suddenly confronted with the last thing you remember, an overwhelming numbness, and below it, an insipid, animating force creeping through your mind. You pull at the straps and free yourself, floating up into the small habitation room, cushioned and worn, your mind racing. Where is this? Glance around, taking in the small room with its knickknacks tucked behind webbing, its stained and worn storage units, its faded padding. This is someone's home. Cold light fills the room, and you float over to the dark square of the window. You see stars, the bright pinpricks of drive trails, and skeletal docking bridges. This is a station. A sudden hiss draws your attention to the door, which slides open with a puff of equalizing pressure. The entering figure jumps as they see you are awake. You're up. They hesitate in the doorway. Where's Seraphim? Your friend, right? I'm not really sure. He headed out a while ago. I'm Bliss. They shrug, not sure what to add. Your friend, Seraphim? Is out, sorry. He brought you here. Can you prove it? Not really. This is my room. Not much, I know. We're in the repair bay on the far spindle, if you know where that is. The belt? Yeah. And the belt. They look around at the room again. Come on, let's go somewhere a little more comfortable. They hold out a hand. You're safe. Don't worry. You follow them out into the corridor, gliding behind them. They move with the ease of someone who is either born in zero-G or has spent most of their life in it. They guide you to an enclosed balcony where heavily scratched thick acrylic windows look out onto a chaotic-looking wet dock. At the center of the dock is the rig, scratched and worn, but still your ship. It's a reassuring sight. So what happened? Your ship. You were lucky I heard your distress signal. I guess that expensive long-range array I was tricked into buying finally paid off. Well, at least for someone. You were out cold when I got there and have been for all the cycles since. Your friend wasn't in great shape either, but he bounced back fast. Make a habit of doing that. Seraphim's voice makes you spin around. Good to see you up. He can't suppress his smile. You okay? Don't start fussing over me, sleeper. I'm good. Your eyes fall to Seraphim's bandaged abdomen. He notices and pulls his jacket over the wound. Certainly looks better than when you came in. You should have seen. Bliss abruptly stops after Seraphim glares in their direction. Here. Seraphim pulls a few chits out of his pocket. Catch. That's all I can get for now. Working in your condition? Please, I'm fine. Bliss looks at you apologetically. I know what it looks like, but I'm sorry, I can't work for free. Keeping this place going is bad enough. I get it. We're just thankful you towed us in. We aren't freeloaders. I'll let you two catch up. Bliss turns to you. Glad you're awake. We were worried. With Bliss gone, silence descends on you and Seraphim, both of you unsure what to say. You sure you're okay? Seraphim appears annoyed, but after a moment his expression softens. I'm surviving. It's gonna take a while to heal. That's what they tell me. No heavy lifting, etc., etc. He shrugs and flinches a little at the pain. What do you remember? Lane. Lane. Seraphim looks out at the rig. He takes a breath, steeling himself for what he has to say. Oh. Hexboard is gone. Huh? What do you mean gone? Dropped off the map. No signals apart from one sent from fleeing ships. I don't know what happened. No one does. Oh shit, I think Junie just fucking died. Uh-oh. Your mind skips, unable to focus on the information you've just been told. Karsten gone. By the time Bliss reached us, we had drifted out of range. They couldn't have seen it go up, but I saw a sleeper. Something exploded, white hot. A moment later, the shockwave was on us. The rig was crippled. Engine kept firing out, but guidance went offline, sending us arcing out across the belt. I managed to get her under control, but not before we started spinning. My straits came loose, and you weren't even strapped in, so you both got scrambled. Felt like being trapped in an auto wash. Impressed you made it, to be honest. A flesh and blood human would have been smashed to pieces. Could it be to do with us? Your guess is as good as mine. Would Lane do something like that? Doesn't make any sense. Utsbo's a gang. They run dark side. They don't go around blowing up stations. All anyone is seeing is debris and radiation. I picked up a lot of ship transponders before the rig went offline. Maybe some people got out. What now? One step at a time. You in a rush? We already owe Bliss for the work they did at the rig. Isn't finished yet. A few more cycles, I've been told. Bliss won't hold us hostage, but I don't like to skip out without paying, even if we can get the rig started up. Bad karma. Beyond that, we need work, fuel, supplies, and we need to make sure you're okay. He counts off the issues on his fingers. After that, I haven't heard of anyone coming after this, and if they did, you'd have to come through Hexport, or what's left of it. The far spindle is way out of Lane's territory anyway. They call this bit of the belt the Wash, and the stations here run differently to Darkside, so for now we have some freedom. Freedom to go broke, starve, and get into even more trouble, that is. In all honesty, I was hoping you might have some ideas. I want to explore, man. Far spindle? Plenty to see. This is a free station. No one faction holds control, so it's quite the circus. Just watch your step out there. Look, Sleeper, I'm not sure I can work right now. I just got kicked out of a salvage yard for passing out on the job. Even with the pain meds I've been able to scare up, I can fly, that's for sure. But you're gonna need some crew if you want to do any serious work. Choose his lip. I'm sorry. Don't be. Thanks, Sleeper. I'm gonna take a rest in the rig. I'm wiped. This what we wanted? Freedom? A chance to work for myself, not Lane? Well, here it is, with all the problems and complications you can imagine. And at what cost? Could Lane have wiped out Hexport just to try to end you? But if not Lane, then who? We dwell. Could it have been Conway, a drone or mines drifting starward? Senate's that perhaps, with some plan to weaken the belt, or a belt faction attempted to flip the board by intent or mistake. Belt had considered itself safe from the war brewing on the inner system, but now, Hexport's loss will be felt all across the starward belt. What does that mean to you? Your needs are much more immediate, apparent. Those must come first. You run your hands along your body, feeling the marks and holes left by the hunter's weapons, and you know in that moment you've been irreparably damaged by the encounter. You realize these scars are reminders. You will not be caught like that again. You swear it. You take a breath. Time to make a plan. Awesome! We've gained a glitch. Glitch is a penalty to keep you from repairing dice. Awesome. Current level of glitch is represented by the glitch clock to the right of your dice. You can have a maximum of 6. Each level of glitch will increase your chance of rolling a glitch dice, and every time you roll a glitch dice, you clear 1 level of glitch. A glitch dice has an 80% chance of negative and 20% chance of positive. Fuck! Okay. That's awful. I hate that. Okay. Underhang. Shoot, man. Oh, this is gonna go real slow. Oh, this is gonna go real slow. Maybe we do switch it to this. Fuck. Maybe we do switch it to save. This is gonna be miserable. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is gonna be so miserable. Sure, man. We'll take the... Okay. Awesome. Sounds good. We'll take that. God, this is gonna be tough. You wake to the sound of blaring proximity alarms. You quickly unstrap from your bunk and dizzily glance around. Lane? Bounty hunters? You kick off and glide to the door. As you do, Bliss pops their head around the corner. Sorry. In all honesty, it's not my fault. Your wiring's all backward. Ugh. Sorry, just a little dumpy. Didn't mean to wake you. Takes you a while to get ready and drift down to the mess to see what's happening. By then, Bliss has turned off the alarms. You find them unspooling wires from a hatch you previously never noticed in the messy ceiling. Sorry again, sleeper. How are you doing? Me? I'm working. Helps keep my mind off things. What things? Bliss spins deftly, hooking their legs into the open ceiling so that from her perspective, they are hanging upside down. To give you a look. Do you really want to know? A yawning Seraphim drifts in. He looks between both of you, amused. What are you both doing up so early? You and Bliss exchange amused looks. What? You didn't hear the alarm? He shrugs. Heavy sleeper. Drifts over the mess covers to hunt for some breakfast. Oh, okay. Alright, time to head out. Oh, I have something I want to show you. Ceiling ceiling out below some storage and a workbench. Look, I'm no specialist when I click on it. I think you have the G to know. Okay. See, that's what she's there, but I can saving these for an important job. Take them. You ready? Come up here and we'll fix you up. Okay. Why help me? You're a guest in my bay, and I can't have my guest bodies collapse, can I? Plus, I think it benefits me if you think of me as indispensable. I should get back to fixing the shit. How nice. Oh, thank goodness. Thank God. Oh, fuck. I should have kept those scrap pieces. Damn it. Sure. Guys. Here, this one. Got 2 points. I want no damage on reroll. Okay. There. Check the here. What's the what's the worst that can happen? Locations. We got Spindle's Edge, Scrapper Ship. And here, Ceiling Shift. Okay, that's work. Kitchen. Meal. Earn a meal with this shit. Sure, good. Take that. We take those. Let's end the cycle. Let's go the next day. What's the vibe on Seraphim here? I was gonna. Oh, fuck. Why do things keep happening? You jerk suddenly awake. A fragment is lodged in your mind, a shard of sound, a signal, a tone. It resonates like tinnitus, obviously internal, inescapable. You look down to see your hands blurred, your fingers dancing as if they were typing. Your fingers flap like caught birds. It takes all your focus to settle them. You force yourself back into them, a sensation like squeezing on a tight pair of gloves. You flex your hands a little to feel them, test them. What was that? You take a deep breath to calm yourself, but as you do, you're reminded that you don't need to breathe. It's a claustrophobic sensation that you cannot shake. You get up, push off the wall, pull on your clothes, anything to escape the dreams that hover there at the back of your mind. Seraphin drifts in casually, heading to his bunk to grab something. You can't shake the strange sensation that has just drifted into your mind. He shoots you a glance. I said, "Are you okay?" He gives you a concerned look. You look terrible. Not really. You don't want a response. You need to talk to me, Sleeper. Seraphin gives you a look. He sighs. I know something happened back when we were leaving Hexport. What do you mean? I saw it, Sleeper. Saw something change in your eyes. He pauses, looking for the right way to explain. They were cold, fixed. I'd never seen that before. He looks away. Back when we first met, I knew at once you weren't human. I knew because of your eyes. I'd never met a Sleeper before, but I knew immediately that you were no machine. It was obvious. But then, on the rig, I couldn't see that anymore. But I am a machine. If you say so, Sleeper. Either way, something changed. What did it feel like? I'm trying to identify it. Good enough. You close your eyes and recall them. You remember Lane's voice, the rig hot and close, numbness, and you see it glittering in the non-space of your head, thin and bright, like spider silk, a thread. Sleeper? Seraphin's voice interrupts your thoughts. You open your eyes to his irritated face. Are you even listening? We need to get you checked up. We need to know what's happening. This isn't just about you. Well, where? I've been asking around. There's another station near the storm. Lots of them. It's a mess, but an accumulation of wrecks and docked ships, but it also houses some of the best artificers in the wash. We should go there as soon as the rig is ready. Okay, I'll go. Look, I don't know what it is to be Sleeper, but there are things you can't tell me, can't show me. But I know how fear can keep you from doing what you need to do. I'm not going to nag you about it, but it needs to be done. You know, we might be... He's treating us different. Not as a... Not as distant as before, I was concerned. Alright, let's see here. No... I don't think that really gives us anything. What's the negative result? Oh, it's gaining energy. This is good, because the worst kind of happens again. Oh, okay. Here we go. Sleeper, Nembo wants to see you. You nod to the other volunteers as you wipe off your hands and clip your cutlery to the magnetic rack. You drift out of the improvised canteen on your way to the kitchen in the back. It was a busy shift, and each shift seems busier than the last. That makes sense, of course. You've seen the steady flow of refugees arriving from the inner system, and most of them, barely a chet to their name, end up in the underhang. As you cross the kitchen, you can still hear the rumble of the refugees' conversation through the hatch. The other chef leads you past the rehydrators and the hand-built centrifugal oven to a small office unit at the back of the kitchen. They knock on the door for you, then glide away to finish their own meal, leaving you to wait by it. You look around the small but carefully arranged kitchen as you wait. Your shifts here, having left you familiar with the mix of improvised and salvaged equipment, some of which you have never seen before you come here. Come in, Sleeper. Nemba is perched at a desk, uplit by a small transparent terminal screen reading glasses perched on the edge of his nose. You've seen Nemba before, but not as much as you'd imagine you would. While working working at a place called Nemba's Kitchen. Even though there isn't a proper sign out front, everyone in the underhang knows his name. The man himself is more of a mystery. Apart from the occasional barked order in the busy kitchen, he is little more than a blur to you. Why do you work here? He barely looks up from his terminal screen, the scrolling text reflected in his lenses. I like to stay busy. Uh-huh. Nemba stops scrolling the screen and looks over his glasses at you. You do well here, Sleeper. Fast, precise, doing good work. Is that it? You tell me, Sleeper. That's my worry, Sleeper. Good workers like you, they move on fast. 10 cycles, maybe more, maybe less, and they're gone. The team gets used to having them here, gets used to working at that pace, and suddenly they have to work differently. They have to pick up the slack, change jobs, change station, and a few of them think, well, maybe it's time I moved on too. So what I've found is good workers are trouble, especially those who come and go, like you. This place, it runs on consistency, Sleeper. Those that turn up every cycle, good or bad, they get the people fed. He takes off his reading glasses, inspecting them for smudges. Let's be honest, that ain't you. So let's cut to it. I can't use you in the kitchen anymore. You're done. Sorry. But this place also runs on all those machines out there, on suppliers that can rope in the donations. Feeding refugees from the inner system is logistics as well as it is chefing, which is why I'm cooped up in the back. So maybe you're gone. I never see you again. Okay, thanks for coming. We'll soldier on without you. Maybe you still want to be useful. Maybe I heard you have a ship. Yeah, maybe I heard you chat. Maybe I have a little something held up in my place only a ship like yours can reach. I negotiated the purchase of valuable inter-system spores from a group that came from here. From there, they somehow ended up at the depot in Greenbelt. So if you head to Greenbelt, you find delivery, you bring it back, well, that would be helping. Kind of helping a good worker, even an inconsistent worker, might be able to offer me. It's kind of the kind of thing that someone genuine, someone who wants to help for real might do, don't you think? Also, seems like the kind of thing that you might sit on a list of priorities for so long it disappears and never gets done. I've seen that happen too. Guess we'll find out which it is. You know the way out, Sleeper. Fuck. Turn on the door, slightly taken aback, and it slides shut behind you. You glide out to the kitchen through the improvised canteen and the people eating and chatting there and into the cold underhang passageway beyond. All the time considering that you might do next and recalling that persuasive glint in Nebula's eyes. Okay. Well, I guess we'll call that good there. Because goddamn, that was a lot. That was a lot of reading. And my throat hurts. But I'm interested. Really sad Ginny's dead. I hope. I want to believe that she, you had to do that like basically perfectly to get her, and maybe she wouldn't even be like a permanent team member. But I think Junie's dead. I'd be so surprised if she comes back later on. But anyways, thank you. I don't know if I'll stick around and keep doing this. 2 hours of reading basically is a lot. But thank you. Bye-bye.